So this is how we do our Cerner. So basically you got to go to the intranet, scroll down to the Cerner product link, and go ahead and download Cerner and get everything logged in. And then you want to make sure you click on the red icon, which is down here, once you're ready. So I'm going to go ahead and go into this test. This is a test, not a patient. All the patients are going to be at ED launch point. This is for ED only. The inpatient is going to be on the blue side. You'll notice that you have this menu here, which you cannot change, and you can open and close it and put it in place there. All these you can change. I like to have labs on top because every time you hit the refresh button, which is over here, it moves, no matter where you are through here. Let's say you're at the problem list, it will move everything up to it'll go all the way up to the top. So whatever you have on top, whether it's vital signs or whatever, I'm concerned about labs and vital signs the most, especially as I'm waiting for stuff to come back, so I have it up on top. And then I kind of have it in order of how I like things: check, complaint, HPI, review systems, physical exam, etc. There is a button that is right, let's see, this button right here. If you hit this button, that moves whatever this is right here over to this side. So I like to have my HPI, my assessment plan, my physical exam over here. So when I'm scrolling, I can be working on my HPI while I'm looking at other things. Histories, if the patient comes in and they have GERD or whatever, go ahead and type in whatever they have, hit GERD, stroke or whatever, and that's going to stay on their problem list for forever. In fact, I'll just throw it on there. And so I hit GERD, and so now we know that they have GERD, and they can see that in clinic. Any procedure, same thing, you type in the procedure, maybe they've had a cabbage or whatever, that goes right there. Family social, hopefully the nurses are doing that, but if not, you got to stay on top of that. Oh yeah, and how you move these around, I'll show you. I just left clicked, and I can slide it up, slide it down, and wherever you put it is where it goes. So anyway, so I'll go see a patient, I'll come back, we'll move to the rest of these here in a little bit, but you have to go to orders. Here's orders, click over here, and if you just click on orders, it shows you the orders that are already there. But if you hit add in the order section, it's going to pull up orders. This patient's already discharged, but whatever. So I'm going to hit orders. Now this is all the way open. I kind of like it with this box right here. If you hit anything with ED, that's going to go ahead and open you up a lot of order sets we've already created for headache, abdominal pain, whatever, trauma order set, whatever. There's going to be a lot of pre-click stuff, so if someone's coming in with a trauma, you can just tell them, hey, order the trauma order set, and it's going to be a whole bunch of labs if you're too busy to deal with orders right then. Alright, so let's say a lot of them is generic, so if you type in Tylenol, nothing will happen. Do acetaminophen. If I hit enter, it's going to open up, and I can really look at everything that has acetaminophen in it and kind of minimize the screen if I want to. Now what's awesome is you can go and right click and hit add to favorites, and you can have a bunch of your own personal favorites, and then when you hit the star button, here's my star. Here's all my favorites that I have in here. I like to do an X-ray 1 view stat, and I also like a 2 view stat. I'm gonna remove some of these from favorites. I don't need a bunch of stuff like that. I like thyroid. Anyway, I like all this stuff. So if I have a patient, I just want a few random orders, I'll come in here, hit a pregnancy test, and a CBC, CMP, and a lipase, and hit done, and then you have to sign it. Now they do have orders for co-signature here. You can go in and co-sign your orders or orders that any doctor has put in. Anyway, that's what I use most of that for. I use that for orders. This blue column here, the MAR is good, especially on inpatient, and then patient info, if I need the patient's phone number, should be in here somewhere. Other than that, you always want to go back to the ED provider view, and that'll open back up this tab. Go back to your HPI. You notice there's nothing in the assessment plan because you got to work your way down, and get to your problem list. And let's say this patient has a STEMI, we'll say. So I'll hit a STEMI, and now that comes over here. And if you notice, I do have GERD here. If I wanted to address this GERD, this is more important on inpatient where you have to address every issue they have. I'm going to add it to this list, and now GERD shows up over here. And if I think the GERD is more important than STEMI, which would be weird, it's going to adjust them over here. So we'll move that back. And then let's say, oh, I don't want to deal with it. I'm going to get rid of it on this visit, or I'll hit resolve and completely resolve it and fix it. Down in the medical history, this should be checked. If not, you tell the nurses to go ahead and complete it, because you have to discharge and go through it. We'll do that in a second. Or if you're doing admission, you have to do this in all your admissions. You have to do this in all your discharge. So this is important because you go to discharge. If you're not going to handwrite a script and you want to add a medication, let's say you want to add, well, yeah, we'll say we're going to give them some Zofran. Now you have the Zofran here. Let's say it's a maintenance medication. Okay. Now I have to go, oh, it's not letting me. Usually it says find pharmacy right here. And then you can search for London or Brohams or any pharmacy, and anyway, obviously it's not letting me do that, and then you sign it, and then you can send it to that pharmacy. Yes, so anyway, we'll come out. Anyway, when you're all done and you sign your discharge, that'll have a check mark, and then you can actually discharge a patient, and then the problem list is now has check mark. The home medications will get a check mark. Work your way down. You can do your medical decisions making, your EKG, your patient education. You can click on STEMI, if you can click on GERD, whatever it is, and you can click these. You can save it to favorites. I have a lot of my favorites already here. And you just click on the education you want. You can make your own templates. So I have, the main one I do is primary care provider. Here I just happen to have Dr. Stuckey here saved as well. But then patient instructions, even though you won't get a check mark for this one, you should have instructions for everybody. Once you're all done, you'll hit discharge instructions. Well, you can do your ED note, but hit discharge instructions. Sign submit. Yes, sign a print. Draft print, okay, and you'll go HL print, the virtual printer, and then you click on ED printer and continue, and then it'll print. It takes a couple steps, but it'll do it. We're not going to do that right now. And then the last thing is when you're all done, we'll just put in a couple of things here, just so there's something here. ED provider note. You'll enter your systems, your medical, everything's going to be in here. You just have to add that, the patient stable, disposition is home, or whatever, and then just write down, usually over here, like how long you spent with the patient, and you'll sign it, and it's done. So we're going to cancel this, discard changes, and then the last thing is I have my Dragon up here. Oh, there's Dragon. So you want to click on Dragon here, and hopefully it automatically logs you in. It tends to do the microphone assay, so right click here, open sound settings, and it tends to do this microphone array, I'm sorry, not assay. You want to make sure it's clicked on power mic 2 or 3 or whatever, and then it'll work. And make sure you're doing stuff like, go in and manage auto techs. And if you're not doing this already, but I have all this stuff in here, do a physical exam, I don't know if you guys do this, but if you type in like your physical exam, and you can say insert physical exam, so I can come over here go insert physical exam, and it preloads. If you guys aren't doing this, obviously you are way behind. You should have central lines already done. It takes 2 seconds to do. Anyway, hopefully that helps. If you guys have any issues, let me know. All right, thanks.